Hi, my name is Eric Lee, and I am a Senior Deployment Specialist at Central Nervous Systems. In this video, we will look at the workflow to create and process project quotes. If you use Acumatica CRM to track sales opportunities, project quotes are integral to the sales workflow by providing detailed estimation. For more information, please check out our video on Acumatica CRM and see how quotes are linked to sales opportunities. Let's take a look at project quotes in Acumatica. To begin, I will log into Acumatica as admin. Project quote is the business function in the project's workspace. We go to projects, and under transactions, we find the project quotes business function. We use the plus sign to create a new record. For quotation, our main objective is to estimate the budget of a potential project. The steps to build a quote is straightforward. Provide summary information in the header section and resources required in the detail section. For one-off quotes, we can build them from the ground up, line by line. But we know that similar projects share similar work breakdown and resource requirements. We can use quote templates to achieve repeatability and expedite entries. I will go ahead and load the CNSTM template to populate the quote with the following information. First, in the quote summary section, we have a project template. Using a cooking metaphor, a project template is our starting recipe. It specifies the type and properties, billing rules and rates, and etc. that a quote is for. While this is not important until the quote becomes a project, it defines the characteristics of the future project. Next, we pick a business account. This is either an existing customer or a sales prospect added through the CRM module. We will pick ABC Holdings. We can now identify some employees for this quote. We will add a sales employee to be the owner of this quote and lead us through the quotation process. We will also pick a project employee to be the project manager. For this example, I'll pick myself. Before leaving the summary section, let's add a quote description. Moving on to the quote details section. In the Project Tasks tab, we see default project tasks associated with our project template. Tasks can be set up as high-level or as detailed as necessary. As a project accounting tool, tasks should carry the perspective of billing and cost measurement rather than project management. Next, in the Estimation tab, we see lines added for labor, subcontractor, equipment, and disbursements such as mileage required for each task. The system multiplies the suggested quantity by its cost and price to yield the line total. This becomes our budget. We also see the system add up all the lines to give us the total sales, cost, and gross margin for the quote. We can calibrate the quote to match the size of the opportunity by adding or subtracting resources. Say we need another support person for project execution. Simply add a new line and specify the task, resource, and plan hours needed. A couple of tools to help us streamline information in the quote. On the top right corner of the quote, we can add notes and attachments to keep relevant project instructions together. Let me attach the tender document from the government to bid on this opportunity. Simply drag the file and drop it into the quote, and we have now added the attachment. To keep a communication history, we want messages, emails, notes, and even meetings with customers and internal stakeholders captured in the Activities tab. I will go ahead and put in some activities. First, I want to send an email to the operations manager to tell him that the project scope has changed. To follow up, I want to schedule a meeting with him and some other staff to discuss the impact to the schedule. Pick a date and time, followed by the attendees, and invite them all. When the quote is complete, we use the Submit Quote button to start the approval workflow. Here you see the status is draft. Submitting the quote changes it to pending approval. To see who has intercepted the quote, we open the Approval Details tab and find Layla as the approver. The Finance Workgroup can also approve the quote in her absence. Since I am in the Finance Workgroup, I'll go ahead and approve the quote. The status has changed to prepared, and we can now send it to the customer. Through the miracle of time, our customer has accepted the quote and sent back a signed proposal. To keep that in one place, we will add that signed proposal to the quote before we convert this into a project. This concludes the workflow to create and process project quotes. To see how we convert quotes to projects and discuss project workflow, please check out our video on projects.